I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo.
They'll run on first down. Milton, 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. He's got daylight. The 30, 10, and all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Marquise Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
This one taken from the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Young working out of the gun. Flushed out right. He finds McCoy. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. The big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Eluding the pressure right. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Ravens taking the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Jackson from the shotgun. He's got his man. It's Andrews. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. On first down, Whittington. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Yeah, he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. On 3rd down, Milton, and he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as he'll go from the 47 now on first down. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. From the 44, Jackson, and his throw here is incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there, and it's 3rd and short. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. If they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display. Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills, you want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He'll let this go for the end zone, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Throwing again. Young. Got a man on the right sideline. It's 4th. And he's going to get this inside the 30. First and 10. Young being chased out left. And now he's going to use his legs. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Young. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Equanimous St. Brown. His 11th touchdown on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had a long drive going last time, but it stalled out. But still, maybe something positive to carry forward from that last drive.
Well, a few different things that you carry forward. Number one, as you noted, they were moving it pretty well, so that gives them a lot of confidence. The second part is, keeps your defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest up a little bit. And last but not least, you've taken a good look at what you've done on offense, noted where the weaknesses are, and you know when you want to come back to them.
Like when you're organized with your points. Well done.
A, B, and C.
On the move to his left. He'll have a first down past the 40. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally taken down at the 34. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender is making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had one of those games that any quarterback loves, not only being able to complete some passes, but some deep passes.
And it's pretty to watch. I mean, it's
the 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Ronald Jones with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Well, that was a quick hitter drive. They had the huge play to get him down near the goal line, and then they run it in. I don't know that the defense ever had a chance to catch their breath.
A lot of the time now when we see people hit big plays, and each team defines a big play their own way, 10, 15-yard gains. In this case, it was a huge gain. They often want to hurry up and go right away. Keep the momentum going, hit them again, and I think we just saw that there. The second play resulted in pay dirt.
Let's go.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
They'll run on first down. Milton. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown. A bit of a catch for him to remember. That's number 400 for his NFL career. Not a bad number at all. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 39.
Has a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it was so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they
and he fires one that's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. Past the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So they obviously declined that, and it is a touchdown.
They still had the option, but let's face it.
There's no option.
There's no option when you score a touchdown. An easy call for them.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on him. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Their mobile quarterback on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley, up and good. So a designed run all the way, and he took it the distance. I don't know that anybody saw that coming.
Well, on this play, how about the vision of it? Being able to see the open field, make his move, and get there. Oftentimes, defenses have a spy for the quarterback position to try and take care of it. On that play, if they did, it certainly didn't work. There's no doubt.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? To throw on 2nd and 6. Jackson, his throw incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Around the NFL, keeping our eyes on what's going on right now in Dallas. And the early lead there belonging to the Cardinals. Josh Rosen leading the way offensively. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ford. A gain of 6 there on first.
But that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Young will set to throw. It's caught. Jones. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. 14 yards there, and a Buccaneer 1st down. Young looks to throw on 1st down. This complete to Jones. And he's taken down inside the 30. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a 1st down. Young on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. The ball comes out, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And give them 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Jackson now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. Here's Jackson. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So they had the big loss on that 1st down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Got a man. It's Brown. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Ravens get a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the 2nd, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the 2nd quarter strong. A little bit of time left. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. Here's Young from the shotgun. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Young, throwing again. It's caught inside the 25. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. A bit of a surprise. They're going for it with 2 ticks remaining. No sign of the field goal unit. Final play of the half. Young. Complete to Jones. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. With the Bucs offense making their way back out on the field, let's take a look at the playoff picture, Charles, coming into the weekend in the NFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And Young's throw there incomplete. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
That's good for a Buccaneer first to pick up of 12 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Throwing, Young. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. It'll be Young again. Escaping the pressure. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker. And hear the pressure from the outside linebacking spot.
And normally when that happens and they're able to get home, that means the other guys on his team helped him out a lot. That they occupied people to allow it to be no less than a one-on-one situation, allows him to get home. Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
On 1st down, Milton. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now it's Jackson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He has been consistent, hasn't he? He played well in the first quarter, good second quarter, and now continuing that here in the third.
And that's the word that they're always seeking from the guy taking the snaps, is consistency. Taking care of the ball. Making sure it gets to the right people. No errors, right? Not turning it over and just doing all the right things. That's leadership, and it inspires confidence in a team.
Been a good leadership and a good distributor. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And they're going to have this in a great spot way down in Baltimore territory. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. On 2nd and 11 now. Young. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So he went out of the pocket left, and then things got dicey.
And what often happens is when they get outside, they want to keep their eyes downfield in order to try and complete a pass. But when they try to make a play, they've got to get their footwork involved, and that can really mess them up as well. And in this case, nothing went right, and the ball got knocked free.
So they need to determine if that knee was down before the break.
After review of the play,
the Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, man, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, They've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. So what again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just can't be...
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Devin White able to get outside the numbers and drop him for a loss of a yard.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
It's taken to the 26. Great blocking, nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Buccaneer offense will be set up well as they take over. Elsewhere, they have gone to the third quarter now in Dallas. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Josh Rosen with one touchdown pass thus far. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they called the field general.
On 1st and 10, Young. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Equanimeous St. Brown. His second touchdown of the afternoon as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point by Badgley up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Well, it wasn't a one-play drive, but I think they'll take it. The scoring summary, 2 plays and into the end zone. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? You go nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down, Milton. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Now Jackson.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll wind up getting 8, but it's not enough. 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do,
It's caught inside the 25. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. On second and very short, Young. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Jerome Baker picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Young to throw it.
Enough takes to start down a good drive, quite like a big rock.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. To throw is Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Jackson. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
1st and 10. Young steps away to his left. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Looked at me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now Young loses the football. It's stripped, and it's picked up by the Ravens. 20, 10, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown.
Oh, we got it. Good job, D.
And at this point, after that return for a touchdown, I guess the only thing is you're asking what else could go wrong.
Not only that, I think that between the two of us, we thought this was over before. I believe now it's really over.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. This one fielded at the 5. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
Let's go.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
3rd and long for Young. And that is incomplete.
This defense could use some more of these types of plays. How about him reading it, driving on the football, and he's right there for the pass breakup.
This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Bit of a surprise. They ran it on 3rd and medium. Proved to be the right call. 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Jackson now, and that is incomplete. Another incomplete pass there. What do you take from this game offensively?
Well, you know it's tough to really analyze for them because it is a team game, right? And let's be honest, though. The defense did them no favors in this one at all. Offense actually moved the ball. So, bottom line, film session, defense is going to be a real tough one for them. Offense, they'll get a little bit of praise.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now it's Jackson. And an alley to run. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Throwing is Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Jackson on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Marquise Brown was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. That's complete, right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Back to throw. Jackson to the goal line, but it's incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, in the grand scheme, going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Young here to throw. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
first down, Young. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete.
Pass interference.
Well, let's see who this is on. This home crowd, they're happy with that call.
I like the way you said happy there, right? The so-called good guys didn't get a call. They feel like it's been that way all afternoon. You feeling their pain?
They finally got one.
Yes, they did.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Here's Badgley now to try to add the PAT. Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Jackson to throw again. And that one drops to the ground. Incomplete. Clock stops here just inside of 20 seconds. 19 left. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Jackson. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. The Ravens send their punter out now. He's been terrific so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. And Young's going to throw it here. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down past the 30. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, 40's Mike, right there. 40's
out of the gun, it's Young. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, Charles, it's one thing.